Hey, what's up, Peter? This is a quick demo video for you for your Dennis Lukyanov and KR Sabers Creepy Uncle V2. Hey, what's up, Peter? So we are finally going to go over your Creepy Uncle V2. I know I have had this for a while. Waiting on the Goth Master chassis to come in the mail. All right, so finally got it done. You had asked for some weathering both on the Saber and the chassis. So while I did weather the chassis, a confession to make, I did not weather the Saber. You had sent me some example photos of how you wanted it weathered, and that was different from how I typically do it. So I was racking my brain for a few days thinking about how I was going to go about doing it, because I had to do a different type of technique when one came for sale in one of the lightsaber groups, and it was practically identical to the picture that you had sent me. So what I did was I just went ahead and I bought that. I took your clean one and I just resold it. So I just made my money back on that. So that way I made sure I could get you exactly what you wanted. You and I had spoke about this back when I did it, and you said that this was what you wanted. So that all worked out fine. All right, so 2-button setup. Your 2 switches are right here. Your front's going to be power. Your back will be auxiliary. Of course, you've got some working red and green arrows here. A stock V3 in here. All right. This saber opens in a couple different places. So the first place it opens will be the grenade section. And that's how you get to your chassis. Let's open it up. All right, we'll take that off and set it off to the side. And here is your master chassis. So I did lightly weather, like a light to moderate weathering on the chassis to make it match the Saber as much as I could. All right, now you had asked for a real quartz crystal. You've been asking me for a real quartz crystal, actually. Some master chassis you can do that, and some you cannot. Some of them, you know, the printed crystal that goes in here, it's actually hollow on the inside to hold the Neopixel accent for the crystal, because there's just like zero room where the crystal cuts off. So some master chassis you can't get away with that, but on this particular one, with a little bit of ingenuity, you can put a real quartz crystal in there. So that's what I did, and I hope that you like that. All right, you've got your stock PCB up here with lens cover. Now I just want to mention, you didn't say anything to me, but just in case you were wondering and you were expecting this to be in the emitter, that's not how this chassis is set up. When you use a lens cover with one of these PCBs, they have long pins that are soldered to them, because they make way for the lens cap to go on. This chassis is recessed deep to accommodate for the long pin setup, and it's cut out also to drop in that lens cover. So that's why we have it here, because that's how the chassis was made. In the emitter that also came with a PCB holder, that is a very small PCB holder that gets glued into that recessed area, and then it holds a short pin PCB. So it's a little hard to tell the difference here because this is covered up with the lens, but these pins in here are a lot shorter. That way when you put the blade in, you can mash down as hard as you want and lock it down. You're not going to cause any damage, where you would if you had a long pin set up in there. All right, so just wanted to go over that with you real quick. Even though you didn't mention it, I wanted to tell you about it. So if you look up here, you may or may not be able to see it. It's a little hard to see right now, but you'll see it when I light it up. There's a 20 pixel stock accent ring right at the base of the crystal, and of course it goes around the circumference of the base. All right, so there's that 20 pixel accent ring, and then there's a single Neopixel accent right at the base of the crystal, so they both do something different. Now I put a piece of mylar diffusion underneath this vent area right here, because I took a 5 pixel accent strip and I glued it on top of the board so that you would have some shine through right here. But I don't like it when you can actually see the strip. I think it looks a little cheesy. All right, so put some diffusion in there. Now I did wire up this 5 pixel strip in line with the 20 pixel accent. So because there's 20 pixels up here and only 5 here, it gives the impression that they're both doing a little something different, even though they're on the same blade style. So you'll have 3 different things going on here. You'll have your ring, your crystal, and this piece right here for aesthetics. All right, and then when you flip this over, you've got your OLED screen right here. This saber is running the Kasith Luke font LS6 because that is an amazing Luke font. It's been out for a long time and it's just a classic. So I went ahead and I picked it up and I put it on the Saber. All right, I recently lost all of my sound fonts, but that's fine. It's worth buying again. It's an amazing font, but per your request, you do not like soundtracks or voices. So I got rid of the font wave on here that says I am Luke Skywalker, and then you had several different boot waves that come with this sound font that were all voices. I think one of them went, oh, something like that. But anyway, that's a very lame impersonation of Luke Skywalker, but one of them did that. I took all that off so that you just have the realistic noises. All right, and to get to your battery, you just want to unscrew this guy. Now, if you're not careful, this is gonna happen to you what just happened to me. When you're unscrewing this, you've essentially loosened this guy, and that loosens this so that you can clock it correctly. We'll go ahead and take it off for now. This is your vented pommel. It says Dennis Lukianov, creepy uncle in there. All right, your static pommel is in your box. This will come off. This is the piece you want to unscrew. All right, so if that ever happens to you, don't worry. This is how you can just take it out. All right, so we'll put this off to the side, bring this out. Let's put this off to the side too. So this piece right here, you put your pommel greebly on, and then you tighten this down. We'll tighten this down for now, and then I'll show you how to clock it when it's on the Saber, because a lot of people like this in a particular type of fashion. All right, this is your battery compartment. So as you know, I told you earlier, there was a cutout here and a cutout here. I chose to put some all thread in there. I just thought it looked cool because you and I try to mix up material when it comes to your builds, and you had all brass over here, so we went with some silver all thread over here, slightly weathered. All right, 28mm KR Sabers speaker, and then your battery. This is a brand new battery, so it will need to be charged, but when you want to take it out, you've got to cut out here and here. Just grab it and pull it out, and there's your wire compartment. All right, so that leaf spring right there is the negative side of your battery. Snaps in like that. All right, your kill switch is right here, so we'll just flip that on. Of course, you're not going to hear anything because we need to hook up the battery, or I'm sorry, you need to hook up the actual soundboard, which happens through here. So we'll take this, we'll put this in our pommel. You can see in there where it matches up, where it marries up, right? Put it in here and screw it in. And when we do, you'll see that animation. You're not going to hear any sound because I took the boot waves off. Now you can see how your tri-ring is probably not where you want it, right? So just loosen this up a little bit, this back piece, move this where you like, typically about right here or so. When you get that where you want, come back over here and lock in that vented pommel, and you're good to go. All right, so you got your red and green LEDs. This is the cave scene, so they'll blink back and forth until we turn the Saber on, and I've got the green one blinking with the red one staying on. You've got twist off. Now you can see that ring up there. I've got it doing like a kit scanner. And then this as well, right? And then I've got your crystal pulsing, if you can tell there. Maybe if I turn off the light. Looks really cool. All right, turn it on again. So now that your ring has gone into a faster turbine type of spin, you'll get that animation here, but it all looks kind of different. But I made your crystal go solid, obviously. Your stock LEDs lit up. We'll turn this light back on. Auxiliary. Twist off. That's your battery meter, so you know you will need to charge that. Typically, you go to the next sound font, you would just tap auxiliary. That lets you know you're on the font. And I put like a little Jedi animation there for you. And then when we fire it up, you got that little OLED animation right there just to have a little something cool. All right. Now, this marries up with this blade side PCB you see in there, and that doesn't come out. Just bring this over here. If you feel it's a little tight right there, just push down a little bit right here and it'll go right in. All right. Go ahead and screw that all the way in. Lock it down nice and tight. You just come over here and hit power. got action up here. To get to your blade retention screw, you want to take this little guy and unscrew it. All right, not the entire upper piece, just this little lip right here. When you unscrew it and drop it down, it will expose your blade retention screw, which is right here. All right, and this is meant to take a 1-inch diameter Neopixel blade. So we'll put the blade in, hold it down, lock this in, and then take this and screw it back in. When putting this back on, you don't have to crank down super tough. All right, just bring it up until it's a little bit snug. You're good to go. Now you're lighting up a blade. All right. We'll go ahead and break this back down. Expose our blade retention screw. Let me grab your blade plug real quick. Put your blade plug right here. So we'll take this out and put your blade plug in while I'm thinking about it. Just make sure it's level with the emitter. And we can leave this here so I don't forget it. Screw this back on until it's nice and snug, not very tight. And you got nice shine through in your blade plug as well. Now when you take this back off, it's okay if that comes off. But you can see your lights going. If we bring this out and we flip that kill switch to the off position, screw this back on, and then we're going to screw this all the way into the saber. And as you'll notice, because we flipped the kill switch off, you won't have any animations in your lights. All right, so that down as far as it goes, no play. All right, but that is basically your Luke Creepy Uncle V2. Let me know if you have any questions. It's Friday afternoon, so this will go out in the mail Monday morning. Thanks, man.